Matt Rife's life is a tapestry woven with threads of both dazzling success and unexpected tribulations. From igniting fervent controversies to venturing into the spectral realm of haunted houses, his journey has been anything but ordinary. However, beneath the veneer of fame and the glare of headlines lies a multifaceted individual whose true story is only now beginning to unfold. This is an invitation to delve deeper, to peel back the layers of Matt Rife's persona and uncover the secrets that have shaped the man behind the laughter. Prepare for a captivating expedition, one that will challenge your perceptions and leave you with a newfound understanding of this enigmatic figure. Rife's current prominence in the entertainment world is a testament to his unwavering determination, his ability to transform profound grief into comedic gold, and a childhood that demanded resilience above all else. His upbringing in North Louisburg, Ohio, a small town with a population struggling to reach 2,000, hardly seemed like the ideal incubator for a comedic sensation. The most memorable event at his high school was, surprisingly, Drive Your Tractor to School Day. Rife recalled in his OnlyFans comedy special, "We would have one day in that week where the rich kids would pull up and just FING flex on us, John Deere style." His family's circumstances were far from affluent. They lived in a trailer, a space where the elements seemed to conspire against them. As he shared on the Sharp Tongue podcast, "One of those tractors could have hauled our house off its lot." Higher education was a distant dream, an unattainable aspiration for someone in his position. "If I stayed, I would have probably just ended up working at the Honda plant nearby," Rife confessed on Brandon's Comedy Bomb show. This seemed to be the unspoken trajectory for his life, a predetermined path of finishing school, securing a factory job, and settling into a routine. However, there was an undeniable spark within him, a restless spirit that refused to be confined by the limitations of his environment. Rife discovered his comedic voice within the confines of the classroom, albeit in a manner that often tested the patience of his teachers. He recounted on Riffin' with Griffin how his biology teacher once prophesied, "You're gonna be flipping burgers by 20. While her prediction was not entirely inaccurate, Rife's trajectory took an unexpected turn. He did indeed flip something, but instead of burgers, he flipped the script, defying expectations and charting his own course. But how did this Ohio native rise from humble beginnings to captivate audiences worldwide? The secret to Matt Rife's success lies in his ability to transmute deep-seated pain into side-splitting humor. "I swear, the blueprint for being a great comedian is daddy issues," Rife quipped on Cancelled with Tana Mongeau. "It's the key to success, absolutely. You have to have some trauma." For Rife, the trauma began almost from the moment he entered the world. His father, Michael Eric Gutska, tragically passed away by self-harm when Rife was only 10 months old. Gutska was barely out of his early 20s, a young man whose life was cut short too soon. Rife never had the chance to hear his father's voice, to be held in his arms, or to experience the simple joys of a father-son relationship. Instead, he was raised by his single mother in a trailer in North Louisburg, a place where the absence of his father cast a long and somber shadow. Years later, during an emotional appearance on Bertcast with Bert Kreischer, Rife shared the haunting realization of outliving a parent. "I'm 26 now," he said. "And when you think about your dad, no matter what state you think of, like, a grown man. But I'm older than my dad ever was." The tragedy took an even darker turn when Rife revealed that his father had confided suicidal thoughts before his death, only to be met with a callous stare from his own father, Rife's grandfather. And perhaps the most unsettling revelation of all was that Gutska had demanded a paternity test. At the time, he and Rife's mother were separated, and doubts lingered about whether Rife was even his biological son. To this day, Rife admits, "I still don't know the results." How does one grapple with the grief of losing someone who may have questioned their very existence? Matt Rife's infectious smile and unwavering confidence are hard-earned, forged through years of self-doubt and the sting of bullying. Before the sold-out tours and the Netflix buzz, Rife was self-conscious about his appearance. "I used to hate my smile," he admitted on Obertcast. "I had what I call Ohio teeth, crooked, gapped, just rough." His classmates seized upon his dental imperfections, making his front tooth gap the target of cruel jokes. Even after gaining recognition on A Wild N Out, Rife struggled to silence the inner critic that echoed the taunts of his youth. It was during his time touring with the late Ralphie May that he finally gained the confidence to transform his smile. "I used that money to fix my smile," Rife said, a quiet tribute to the mentor who had believed in him from the beginning. In 2018, Rife documented his dental transformation on Instagram, expressing his gratitude to Dr. Kourosh Madahi for helping him overcome his insecurities. On Off the Vine, he reflected on the emotional origins of his comedy, "You Get Bullied. And instead of letting people see it hurts, you turn it into a joke. Then you're laughing with them." Rife's journey hasn't been without its challenges. When he was just 5 years old, his mother remarried, bringing 3 stepdaughters into his life. However, the blended family dynamic was far from idyllic. On A Sharp Tongue, Rife described his stepfather as a stereotypical movie stepdad, a violent alcoholic who subjected him to physical abuse. His mother and stepfather eventually had a daughter together, but their marriage ultimately crumbled under the weight of years of unhappiness. Despite the turmoil, Rife remains close to his mother. He dreams of buying her a house one day, a safe haven far from the shadows of their past. In June of 2023, Matt Rife announced his Problematic World Tour, garnering support from Ashton Kutcher. The tour spanned over 100 shows across North America and Europe, a far cry from the days when he performed for small crowds with complimentary tickets. However, the relentless pace took a toll on his well-being. In May of 2024, he canceled 2 shows due to a medical emergency, citing exhaustion from performing over 40 shows a month for a year and a half. His medical team advised him to take a 2-week break from touring. Despite the setback, Rife returned to the stage, ready to resume his journey. In 2017, the comedy world mourned the loss of Ralphie May. For Matt Rife, Ralphie was not only a mentor but also a friend who provided him with crucial opportunities early in his career. However, Ralphie had inadvertently broken Rife's heart years before. As a hopeful 16-year-old, Rife had reached out to May on Twitter, begging for a chance to perform during one of his Ohio shows. However, his anxious mother had intervened, overwhelming Ralphie with questions. Ralphie withdrew the offer, leaving Rife devastated. Despite the initial disappointment, Ralphie recognized Rife's potential and eventually gave him another guest spot, his first paying gig. When Rife moved to Los Angeles, Ralphie continued to support him, offering meals, holiday bonuses, and unwavering encouragement. Matt Rife's rapid ascent to fame was both exhilarating and overwhelming. He confessed to Us Weekly that he had never envisioned achieving such widespread success. The constant demands of his career took a toll on his health, leading to insomnia and mental strain. In November of 2023, rumors circulated online about Rife undergoing plastic surgery, prompting him to deny the allegations. Rife's ability to generate controversy has become a hallmark of his career. His jokes about domestic abuse in his 2023 Netflix special, Matt Rife, Natural Selection, sparked outrage. However, he remains unapologetic, asserting his right to discuss any topic. Rife's candor extends to his personal life. He briefly dated Kate Beckinsale in 2017. In 2023, he began a relationship with Jessica Lord, which ended in July 2024. Despite his comedic persona, Rife expressed a desire for a traditional family life. In addition to stand-up comedy, Rife has pursued acting, appearing in television shows and indie films. He revealed his passion for acting and his desire to take on more challenging roles. Rife has also ventured into the paranormal realm with his ghost hunting series, Overnight, even considering buying the infamous Rhode Island house that inspired The Conjuring. As his fame has grown, Rife has encountered bizarre interactions with fans. He shared anecdotes about receiving unusual gifts, such as hair and toenails, and encountering fans who had been scammed by individuals impersonating him online. Behind the jokes, Matt Rife cherishes the memory of his grandfather, Steve Rife, who served as his first comedy coach and biggest supporter. In November of 2022, Steve passed away, leaving a void in Matt's life. Matt has honored his grandfather's memory by wearing a necklace that Steve had once owned and sporting a tattoo of the nickname Steve gave him. At just 28 years old, Matt Rife is set to release his memoir, Your Mom's Gonna Love Me, a blend of personal stories, comedy, and reflections on his experiences with first dates. The book promises to offer fans a deeper understanding of the man behind the laughter, revealing the challenges and triumphs that have shaped his extraordinary journey.